Technical Higher Education Institution has unveiled a range of new Bachelor of Technology qualifications. These programs, scheduled to commence on 25th October for the 2023-24 academic year, aims to empower diploma holders with advanced skills, fostering a diverse student population. The introduction of these B.Tech programs aligns with Rwanda's aspirations to transform into a knowledge-based economy, targeting substantial socio-economic growth by 2035. Recognizing the pivotal role of a well-trained workforce in driving the nation's development agenda, Rwanda is focusing on the technical and vocational education and training (TVET) sector to produce a highly skilled workforce. All of the B.Tech programs will be offered during the day, raising questions from a key group of potential beneficiaries, working adults. Edward Yizihiro, who graduated in construction 8 years ago, shared his concerns. It was a challenge to get a better job because we had diplomas while employers requested a Bachelor of Technology degree. I am eager to start a B.Tech, but it is difficult to enroll in a daytime program as I have a full-time job. Similar concerns were echoed by Eric Rusakara, a mechanical engineering graduate who runs a garage in Kigali. He suggested it would be wise if the colleges think about weekend and evening programs. Professor Richard Musabi, the Deputy Vice-Chancellor of Academics, Research and Institutional Advancement at Rwanda Polytechnic, acknowledged the importance of addressing these concerns. While the immediate focus is on securing resources and qualified lecturers for the new qualifications, he reassured that plans for evening and weekend programs are in the institution's future. The new B.Tech programs will be offered across 5 integrated polytechnic regional colleges, encompassing a wide range of fields including manufacturing technology, wood technology, electrical technology, food processing, and information technology. These additions expand the educational landscape, providing students with valuable skills for the workforce. These challenges come after Rwanda Polytechnic transitioned from offering advanced diploma certificates to more advanced B.Tech qualifications, providing graduates with access to job opportunities that require higher-level qualifications. The commitment to innovation and inclusivity in education remains the forefront of Rwanda's development strategy. Meanwhile, officials from the Sudan Ministry of Higher Education and Scientific Research have initiated discussions with the university leaders to deliberate on the obstacles hindering the restart of academic activities within the nation. These conversations are taking place against a backdrop of opposition to a prime ministerial ruling that mandated the reopening of both public and private educational institutions. While certain universities are contemplating reopening plans, lingering doubts prevail regarding the practicability of the directive. The Sudan Ministry of Higher Education and Scientific Research recently engaged university leaders to discuss the challenges surrounding the resumption of academic activities in the country. This comes amid resistance to a prior ministerial decision to reopen all public and private educational institutions. While some universities are planning to reopen, concerns persist regarding the directive's feasibility. Among the institutions planning to resume activities are the University of Jazeera, Sheikh Abdullah Al-Badri University, and the University of Khartoum, with some faculties offering online studies. Notably, the International University of Africa has announced its relocation to another country, with a specific location yet to be disclosed. During the meeting, Professor Mohammed Hassan Daheb, the Minister of Higher Education and Scientific Research, outlined the difficulties associated with reopening institutions, including addressing workers' salaries, housing arrangements, and facilitating e-learning. The discussion also focused on transferring credit hours between institutions and creating partnerships without adding burdens to students or families. However, the Alliance of Sudanese University Professors Associations rejected the reopening decision, citing financial, security, safety, and accommodation challenges. The alliance contends that the decision undermines the independence of higher education institutions and should be based on recommendations from university councils. The debate continues, reflecting the complex situation in Sudan, where the ongoing military conflict has raised concerns about reopening universities in specific regions. The global academic community is closely monitoring the situation and aiming to provide practical assistance to students and researchers during these challenging times.
Now, that was a report from Sudan's higher education. And as we are aware, Sudan's higher education institutions had been on break due to some rampant violent attacks. And just last week, the Ministry of Higher Education announced that universities are to reopen. Unfortunately, this move or announcement
on the campuses when they resume, and also how will students get accommodation, because this coup d'etat, terrorist attacks also happen in institutions. Offices were ransacked. The vice chancellor's office was ransacked. So you can see that there's a whole rampage within the whole of Sudan, and universities were also victims of these violent attacks. So you can't really expect them to bounce back within all these trauma. It is very important that things are well settled on, particularly these things we have mentioned about here.
I would actually like to believe that, of course, the ministry has the the ministry has good intentions, of course, for the university. I don't think the ministry just made this decision just out of nothing. I understand that the concerns, as you mentioned, salary issues, accommodation, safety, living conditions, among others, are all valid. But life must go on.
Yeah, that must go on. But you understand that these institutions are like implementers. Without them, would there be a Ministry of Higher Education in Sudan? Would there be any? And if these attacks occurred and they were all victims of, let's say, mass murder, would there be a ministry?
No.
So you have to listen to these people who you work with. And concerns have come with the Alliance of Professors in Sudan saying that these discussions were not settled. That's the first thing. Secondly, they need to understand that when they go back to those, some of the schools were opening, University of Gezira, University of Khartoum, some few sections of these schools are going virtual. Some even are doing hosting their works in other institutions.
Exactly.
Are you not seeing that fear that is looming with the institutions? They are all afraid if they cannot go back and work effectively like things used to be. And that's where the Ministry of Higher Education needs to understand that they are implementing, they are the face of the ministry. So they must guide the ministry, and per their coordination, you need to give them the benefit of the doubt for them to evolve out of these post-traumatic feelings and be well prepared whilst these underlying factors are being met.
So universities are undoubtedly they are afraid, there's fear, and they have valid concerns, but what can they do?
The ministry has to understand, what is the ministry seeking to achieve? Yes, if the ministry wants physical education to resume, the underlying factors on the grounds oppose. They naturally they oppose it. And it's not a sort of mutiny from the institution's leaders, but because the grounds are not favorable for this to happen. What then do? We may have to try new ways, go virtual. That's the new way of learning this time. Are the infrastructures available? Do we have the very needed infrastructure to execute a formidable, robust virtual interaction between students and their teachers? If that is done, then we can say we can go back. So the ministry needs to be spontaneous and versatile and open-minded. That I understand the grounds are not favorable, the grounds are just quite tainted. What do? We may have to go virtual. How can we sit to agree? What do we need to put in place to ensure a seamless virtual encounter for students in every university in Sudan? I think that's the best thing the ministry can do.
Thank you, Ajaman. Indeed, the ministry needs to explore innovative ways of rolling out its education system aside reopening for students to go to have lectures in person. Health News is up next.
Zooming into health news, a new study led by researchers from the Harvard Teaching Hospital Chan School of Public Health reveals that even just 2 servings of red meat per week may increase the risk of developing type 2 diabetes. The risk rises with greater consumption. The study suggests and supports dietary guidelines recommending limits on red meat consumption, including both processed and unprocessed varieties.
A new study led by researchers from the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health revealed that even just 2 servings of red meat per week may increase the risk of developing type 2 diabetes. The risk rises with greater consumption. The study, which was published on Thursday, October 19th, in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, supports dietary guidelines recommending limits on red meat consumption, including both processed and unprocessed varieties. Type 2 diabetes is a rapidly growing concern in the US and worldwide, carrying significant health risks including cardiovascular and kidney disease, cancer, and dementia. In this extensive study, health data from over 216,000 participants was analyzed over a period of up to 36 years. More than 22,000 participants developed type 2 diabetes during this time. The findings revealed a strong association between red meat consumption and an increased risk of type 2 diabetes. Those consuming the red meat had a 62% higher risk compared to those who ate the least. Substituting red meat with healthy plant-based proteins like nuts and legumes reduced the risk by 30%, while modest amounts of dairy products reduced the risk by 22%. Senior author Walter Willett, a professor of epidemiology and nutrition, suggests that limiting red meat consumption to about 1 serving per week may be a reasonable approach for those aiming to optimize their health and well-being. Additionally, the study highlights potential environmental benefits such as replacing red meat with plant-based protein that can help reduce greenhouse gas emission and combat climate change. This research underlines the significance of dietary choices in managing health risk and fostering environmental sustainability.
Stick with us for Discovery News.
Are you a university, college, high school, private organization, NGO, individual professor, instructor or facilitator seeking to take advantage of the numerous benefits of online education? Look no further. The AAU eLearn Africa LMS is a great opportunity to begin your journey to online course development and creation for teaching, learning and training purposes. AAU eLearn Africa LMS, which is a partnership between the Association of African Universities and eLearn Africa, has made available ease to use online learning tools to all stakeholders within the educational ecosystem of the African continent. This is to enhance teaching and learning in the bid to expand online learning opportunities for students in Africa. The online platform is open and available for free to all stakeholders and facilitates virtual access to classes without needing the other tools such as Zoom, Microsoft Teams, among others. For more information, visit www.elearnafricalms.com or contact us via aauLMS@aau.org or estherm@elearnafrica.com. Follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook at AAU eLearn Africa LMS.
Welcome back to our discovery story, and scientists from Germany's prestigious Max Planck Institute are on a mission to unveil the enigmas shrouding the ancient Egyptian mummification procedures. Employing state-of-the-art technology, they have successfully identified and replicated the scent employed in the mummification process of a prominent Egyptian woman.
Researchers at Germany's Max Planck Institute have uncovered the secret of ancient Egyptian mummification practices by analyzing the substances used to embalm noblewoman Senetne, whose remains date back to 1450 BC. To achieve this, minuscule residual samples from containers that once held her organs were examined. The analysis revealed a complex blend of ingredients including beeswax, plant oils, fat and more, shedding light on the mummification process and the extensive trade networks of ancient Egypt. Some ingredients proved intriguing, possibly originating from Southeast Asia's exclusive Dama gum tree resin, highlighting ancient Egypt's far-reaching influence. To recreate the unique scent of Senetne's mummification balm, researchers collaborated with a French perfumer, resulting in a warm, resinous and powerful formula. This fragrance is now part of an exhibition at Denmark's Musgard Museum titled Ancient Egypt, Obsessed with Life. The exhibit challenges common misconceptions about ancient Egyptians' fascination with the afterlife, offering visitors a portal to connect emotionally with a civilization that existed over 4,000 years ago. The research by Barbara Huber and her team was published in a journal Scientific Reports, while the Ancient Egypt Obsessed with Life exhibit opened on October 13, 2023 and runs until August 18, 2024.
That's it for Discovery News. Jemima Dandoche brings you the latest in sports and entertainment. Stay tuned.
You're welcome to the Sport and Entertainment segment. My name is Jemima Daladem. In our sport news, exuberant fans of the Simba Sports Club don their team signature red and white colors with pride as they form lines to secure tickets to the highly anticipated inaugural African Football League match hosted in Tanzania. The opening clash against Egypt's Al Ahly team and will take place in Dar es Salaam's Benjamin Mkapa National Stadium.
Eager supporters of Simba Sports Club flooded Dar es Salaam's Benjamin Mkapa National Stadium, adorned in the team's red and white colors, as they queued up for tickets to witness the inaugural match of the highly anticipated African Football League. The tournament, featuring 8 of the continent's top clubs, kicked off in Tanzanian economic capital with a historic clash between Simba Sports and Egypt's Al Ahly. In a thrilling encounter witnessed by tens of thousands of enthusiastic fans and FIFA President Gianni Infantino, the first leg of the two-leg tie concluded in a 2-2 draw. The Benjamin Mkapa Stadium, with a capacity of 60,000, was sold out for the tournament's launch. The African Football League, established by CAF, aims to enhance the quality of soccer in Africa while fostering the financial growth of the participating clubs. Tanzanian supporters representing Simba Sports Club showcase unwavering pride in their team, converging on the stadium hours before kickoff. The vibrant display of red and white colors painted a picture of unity and passion as fans from across the country came together to celebrate the kickoff of a competition that holds promise for elevating African football to new heights.
In our entertainment, the 66th Grammy Awards scheduled for Sunday, April 4th, 2024 at the Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles are currently evaluating 65 reggae albums for potential nomination in the coveted Best Reggae Album category. Notable contenders in the Best Global Album category include Stephen Marley, acclaimed for his Old Soul, Shaggy's In the Mood, infused with social influences, and Morgan Heritage's The Homeland. The music industry eagerly anticipates the upcoming nomination of these prestigious accolades.
As the 66th Annual Grammy Awards approach, the Best Reggae Album category is buzzing with anticipation, considering 65 reggae albums for potential nomination. The ceremony is scheduled to take place at the Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles on Sunday, February 4th, 2024. Notable contenders in the Best Global Album category include Stephen Marley's Old Soul, Shaggy's Soca Influenced, In the Mood, and Morgan Heritage's The Homeland. The diverse lineup also features Burna Boy, Baba Mal, Davido, Stonebwoy, and Wizkid, reflecting the global influence within the reggae genre. The eligibility period for the 2024 Grammy spans from October 1st, 2022 to September 15, 2023, with recordings commercially released in the United States qualifying for consideration. The first round of voting for nominations commenced on October 11th, showcasing the Recording Academy's commitment to recognizing outstanding achievements in music. The eagerly awaited announcement of official nominees is set for Friday, November 10, 2023, offering insights into the artists and albums that have made a significant impact during this period. The 66th Annual Grammy Awards stands as a pinnacle in the music industry, celebrating excellence in recordings, compositions, and artists. With a focus on the reggae genre and its global influences, the ceremony promises to showcase the vibrancy and creativity of musicians worldwide. As the music community awaits the unveiling of nominees, the event is poised to be a memorable acknowledgement of the diverse and dynamic contributions to the world of music.
That is all for our sports and entertainment segment. My name is Jemima Daladem Duche. Up next is Business and International.
The month of October sparks a lot of tensions in Congo as October brought a substantial 25% increase in diesel prices following an earlier hike in January. Gasoline prices have similarly surged by 25% at the pump since July. These excessive fuel price increases are a matter of concern for consumers and are impacting the cost of living in the country.
Diesel prices in the Republic of Congo have surged by 25% in October, following a similar increase in January, with gasoline prices experiencing a parallel rise since July. Authorities in Brazzaville attribute these hikes to International Monetary Fund (IMF) recommendations in 2019 under the Extended Credit Facility (ECF), which aimed to assist the country in the midst of a severe economic crisis and high debt levels exceeding 80% of the GDP. One of the IMF's suggested reforms was the removal of fuel subsidies, a move now met with opposition from the Congolese branch of What You Pay Coalition, PCQVP. The PCQVP vehemently opposes the fuel price increases, asserting the country's right as an oil producer to sell petroleum products at lower prices domestically. They question the need to align domestic prices with international markets and call for self-sufficiency through domestic refining, which they believe could eliminate the necessity for subsidies. In response to concerns about potential inflation's impact on the population, the Congolese government have implemented measures, but civil society, including PCQVP, emphasizes the critical role of fighting corruption in the oil sector. They argue that anti-corruption efforts could generate substantial revenue for the state budget, urging the government to prohibit petroleum product exports. The call is supported by a report highlighting annual losses of about $1 billion due to high costs, tax prices, and cost thresholds. Amidst rising fuel prices and economic challenges, the Congolese government have promised to release a report on the impact of these increases on the populace, further emphasizing the urgency of addressing both economic and corruption-related concerns.
On international front, a missile strike on a distribution center in eastern Ukraine late Saturday night has left 6 postal workers dead and 16 injured. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky confirmed the strike on the Nova Poshta sorting office in Kharkiv via telegram. The attack occurred just before 10:30 local time. Investigations are underway to understand the circumstances of the incident.
In a tragic incident in eastern Ukraine, a missile struck a Nova Poshta sorting office in Kharkiv late on Saturday night, resulting in the deaths of 6 postal workers and injuries to 16 others. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky confirmed the attack on Telegram, sharing images of the damaged building with blown-out windows. The victims, all employees of the postal company, suffered shrapnel wounds, according to Kharkiv's regional governor, Ole Sinihubov. The private delivery company, located in the western Kharkiv suburb of Korotych, was described as a strictly civilian site, highlighting the impact on innocent civilians. Authorities reported that 22 people were inside the distribution center at the time of the suspected S-300 rocket strike, which occurred just before 10:30 p.m. local time. Investigators, along with criminologists and forensic experts, are examining the bodies of the deceased. President Zelensky emphasized ongoing rescue efforts with emergency services actively engaged at the scene. The attack underscores the toll on civilians amid the conflict, with Russia yet to comment on the alleged strike and having previously denied targeting non-combatants during its invasion of Ukraine. Kharkiv, Ukraine's second largest city located near the Russian border, has experienced heightened tensions, having been heavily bombed during the early weeks of the war in February 2022. Governor Sinihubov revealed that the victims, aged between 19 and 42, faced varying degrees of injuries. 7 individuals were hospitalized in moderate condition, while 7 men are in serious condition. As the conflict continues, this devastating incident in Kharkiv adds the challenges faced by the local population, emphasizing the urgent need for international intervention and resolution. Amidst these tragic events, Ukraine continues its counter-offense campaign in the south since June, aiming to sever Russia's land corridor to the allegedly annexed Crimean Peninsula. Despite efforts, progress has been slow, resulting in limited territorial gains. The conflict persists, with the international community closely watching the developments and advocating for a peaceful resolution to the ongoing crisis.
That's all we have for you for the Mid-Week News. We'll take a quick recap of our headlines.
On higher education, university reopening causes mixed reaction. And in health, red meat increases type 2 diabetes.
The discovery story creating the sense of an ancient Egyptian mummification. In our sports story, first, African football match in Tanzania Pro Talents.
And I'll thank you for sticking with us on the AAU TV Mid-Week News. Get interactive with us via our dedicated social media platforms at Association of African Universities. My name is Manukwa Utuakwanyame.
And I am Ajiman Ochrodako. Do have a sound day and be safe.